So a lot of people are out there talking about how great Black Widow did at the box office, how the $215 million that it made opening weekend is some great success, but I'm here to tell you that it's actually not that big of a success, and it's even possibly a huge failure that could lose Marvel, that could lose Disney a lot of money. So I would say that a lot of us expected, especially most of us around this YouTube space, expected Black Widow to be a huge flop. I think that the way that they marketed the movie was absolutely god awful. The way that Scarlett Johansson and a lot of the other stars that were affiliated with the movie, everyone that was creating the movie, the way that they were talking about it, the fact that all of these trades came out when they saw the movie early with all the rest of the pundits and all of those people, and they were coming out and saying that the movie is Marvel's Me Too movie and that it puts men in their place and all that stuff that, you know, is the opposite of what we want, the exact opposite of what we look for when we're going to see a movie that we're trying to have fun with. But then the movie came out, and opening weekend, apparently it made $215 million, and I think the Thursday night before it came out officially on that Friday, so the Thursday night, the midnight releases, it made $13.2 million, which is actually pretty good. You know, that's pretty crazy, especially a post-pandemic movie making that much money. It's pretty damn good. You know, I can't lie to you, $215 million opening weekend is pretty good. You can't really argue with that. I'll pull up the article right now. You just can't argue with it. Box office, Black Widow spends record $80 million in the US opening, earned $60 million on Disney Plus Premier Access, and total, it made $218.8 million global. It's pretty good, man. I cannot lie to you. It surprised me. I thought the movie would make like 100 million domestic, maybe like 175 million globally. I thought it was going to do pretty awful, and 215 million is pretty good. I would say that, you know, it blew away a lot of people's expectations, but this does not mean that the movie is actually going to do well box office wise. I think the prediction right now is that it's going to make about double of the 218 million in its whole entire box office run. That's going to be a huge loss, because I think that still puts them in a deficit or close to breaking even for the movie. That's not good. That is not Marvel's standard movie. Every single movie that comes out that's a Marvel movie, I don't have to tell you, you already know. Every single movie that comes out that's a Marvel movie now is $1 billion movie. Every single one. And yes, I know it's post-pandemic. I know that it's not going to make $1 billion, but you at least got to make 700 million. 800, 900 million, something like that. Because a lot of the Marvel movies that are coming out recently, we're kind of fresh off of Endgame right now. I think we only had one movie since Endgame, and now, you know, Black Widow. And that movie since Endgame, I think it definitely made over $1 billion. It might have even made 1.1, 1.2. I'm not even sure how much Spider-Man Far From Home made, but Endgame made $3 billion. So if this movie only makes 400, maybe 500 million, it's projected to make less than 500 million at this point. I would say around 450 to 475 million is probably what's going to end up totaling. Probably less than that, if we're being honest, because you look at the 60 million that it made from Disney Plus right here, it says 60 million, at least 60 million from Disney Plus Premier Access. Those people, a lot of the in-game money came from me going back to see the movie multiple times. These people, this 60 million right here, they have the movie now on Disney Plus. They don't have to pay to go to the movies multiple times. If they want to watch the movie again, they just load up Disney Plus and watch it again. They don't have to keep on paying for that movie. So that's a whole lot of households that are going to miss out on those repeat viewings that usually fuel these Marvel box office scores, these box office numbers very high. They usually put Marvel over the top of all the other franchises that only see one, maybe two viewings, but a lot of these diehard Marvel fans will go to the movies over and over again and see these movies, and that's $60 million that they're not going to get from repeat viewings. That $60 million is set in stone. You're not going to make much more when it comes to Disney Plus Premier Access. So the movie is very good opening weekend. Moral of the story is, it blew away my expectations. It blew away a lot of people's expectations. I admit I was wrong. You know, I didn't think that the movie would make this much opening weekend. But when I first heard the number 215 million, I was like, damn, this movie actually might be a success. But I started really thinking about what's going on. I started really breaking down the numbers in my head. And I'm like, that 60 million from Disney Plus isn't necessarily a great sign. Yes, it's great that they made that 60 million, but this movie's not going to have very much legs when it comes to the box office long term. 3, 4, 5 weeks down the line, I would say it's not going to be the #1 movie at the box office for any of those weeks. I don't think that this movie is going to last long at all. I think it's going to do pretty bad when it comes to long-term success, and that's for so many different reasons. It's for so many different reasons. The marketing for this movie is god-awful, man. Scarlett Johansson explains how Black Widow became Marvel's Me Too movie. You can't miss this opportunity. Like, come on. Marvel or Black Widow being Marvel's Me Too movie makes me want to miss this opportunity even more. I haven't even seen the movie yet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even know how people have time to watch movies nowadays. It's very hard for me to fit in time to watch a movie. But if I do have time to fit in and watch a movie, I don't want it to be Black Widow. I don't care about Black Widow. I've already heard all I need to know about the movie. I don't think it's an extremely woke movie from what I've heard from my friends. You know, a lot of these YouTubers out there are saying that it's a very woke movie. I don't think it is, but I do think that they're pushing that agenda that they always push in Marvel stuff. And it's about a character that I just don't really care about. It's a universe full of superheroes with superpowers. Why am I going to watch a movie about the one of the two characters that are in the Avengers, Hawkeye and Black Widow? Why am I going to watch a Black Widow movie when there's a bunch of characters out there that have movies that have superpowers and actual entertaining aspects about their characters? Black Widow is just not entertaining to me. She's a great side character. She's a great piece to the Avengers. I think I liked her very much at Endgame, actually, but she's just not that exciting when it comes to her solo movie. So I just don't care that much. But like I said, the marketing for this movie is going to hurt it big time when it comes to the legs of this movie, because all the diehard Marvel fans out there, there's a lot of Marvel fans out there that are just casual fans of movies. They're not really looking into the deep marketing stuff where Scarlett Johansson explains how Black Widow became Marvel's Me Too movie. They're not out there looking for that stuff. They're just seeing the trailers. They're going out and they're watching the movie and they're enjoying the Marvel movies because they love Marvel. And that's totally fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people out there like myself that just can't help but see this stuff and be like, yeah, I don't want to see that movie anymore. How is a movie a Me Too movie? I just don't want to see the movie after seeing this, especially like I said, I just don't have the time to sit down and watch movies that often. And when I do, I definitely don't want it to be Marvel's Me Too movie. Let's check out what else they had to say for the marketing. IndieWire tweets this out, and this is really what kind of set everyone, including myself, into this headspace where we were like, yeah, this movie is going to flop. If this is true, this movie's a flop. This movie is not going to make, no way that we thought that they were going to make $218 million opening weekend. Like I said, I thought at most $175 million opening weekend. I thought that it was really going to make like 125 to 150. I was way off. I'll admit it, I was way off. But IndieWire says Black Widow not only passes the Bechdel test, it forces men to scream as it puts them in their place. It's a solid comic book tentpole that excels as a Bourne movie, but falls into the third act MCU messiness. Here's our review. I don't want to see your review. I don't want to see anything else about the movie. You tell me that it puts men in their place and makes them scream. I don't want to see this movie anymore. That, yet again, awful marketing tactics. And I know that this is IndieWire. They're not necessarily affiliated or marketing for the Black Widow movie, but they're not saying this stuff for no reason. I know it's not completely true within the movie, but if the movie didn't have at least some of these aspects, then they wouldn't be putting this in their reviews. And we go back to Scarlett Johansson herself, the star of the movie, saying stuff like it's Marvel's Me Too movie. It's just horrible, man. And then, you know, this is going to really hurt the legs of this movie. The Daily Wire says that Black Widow Stranger Things star David Harbour says no one could disagree with socialism. I'm not going to get political on this channel. I'm just saying simply, when you say stuff like this, it's very divisive. You're going to have half of the country absolutely hating David Harbour now because they don't like socialism. It is what it is. I'm not going to tell you my views. I'm not going to tell you anything like that. I'm just saying this is really going to hurt the legs of this movie. It's really not good for the future of Black Widow, and this movie is really not going to have legs, not just because of this, not just because of the socialism comments, but because of all the stuff about the $60 million coming from the Disney Plus Premier Access. A household had to pay $30 to watch the film, so you can do the math on that, but there's a lot of households out there that aren't going to have to pay for repeat viewings. Just the legs for this movie is going to really hurt. I think it makes max $450 million, maybe $500 million if it does really good, but I don't see that happening. I think $450 million is the cap, and I think it's probably going to make more towards $420 million, something like that. But you can tell me what you think in the comments. What do you think Marvel will do, or what do you think Black Widow will do at the box office when it comes to the total numbers, when it's all said and done, when it's taken out of movie theaters? What do you think the number will be at? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm not too optimistic about it, but I'm happy that it's at least showing some signs of life, because I want the theater industry to come back. I want theaters to be able to last a long time, and I want more movies. I want studios to feel comfortable again with paying to make good movies, to make big budget movies. But like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both those links will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video. Hope to see you in the next one.